So it is Friday, and that means recovery run. So we're out for 8 miles, which 8 miles a year ago would have been 4 times the distance that I could run basically without walking. So that's crazy to think. And 8 miles is my longest or my shortest distance at this point. 10 miles is usually the ballpark for easy runs. So for Rehoboth Beach, that was in the second week of April. And today is Juneteenth, 2026. I had peaked around 65, I think. And for the month of March leading up, I was in the 50s. And this will be my second 70-mile week with a 20-mile long tomorrow, which is crazy to think because, again, did not think that was possible. So it's crazy. My watch is probably gonna ding me several times because the pace I have in there is too quick. My recovery pace should be between like 9:30 and 10:30, which was the warm-up, but the workout has it at like, oh, I'm going too fast, has it at like 8:45 to 9:30, so we'll see how that goes. Legs aren't feeling too bad. We are in base, so that means easy miles, low and slow. We're training for Philly in the fall, so start training for that the first week of August. So when I'll start the build, but over the summer it's just mostly low and slow with a little bit of quality mixed in. So for this week, Monday was 10 miles, easy, with sort of a hybrid stride hill sprint session in the last mile. I say hybrid because the route that I run, or the routes that I run, I can't escape elevation. It's impossible. So as much as I try to look for flat for those strides, it's not always possible. So that was interesting. But I love doing strides. I love that little bit of quality at the end of an easy run. Just gives you a good sense of what pace feels like, but it doesn't burn me out. So love the good old strides. Tuesday was 10 miles easy. Well, 8 miles easy with 15-minute tempo, which my ambitious goal of 3:10, 3:15 puts me at about 7:15, 7:20 mile pace. So tempo was, I think, 6:55 to 7:10. And again, it was 4 miles easy to tempo, 4 miles easy. So it just so happened that the tempo portion was, first mile was good, it was downhill. Second was not, and that was brutal. Trying to keep that pace, going up basically a half a mile long hill. So that was pretty miserable. So that's got me thinking of whether or not I just want to use heart rate try to stay sub-threshold, because that means that my heart rate can stay with the undulations and my pace can do whatever it wants to do, but it'll be easier. So we'll play around with that. So yeah, hills. Can't really get away from them. No matter what route I take, it's like 500. There's my watch not happy with me again. 500 feet, no matter where I go. So it makes it challenging, but hopefully it gets me race ready for more of a flat. Now Philly's not flat, but it's not as hilly as these routes. We'll see how much that wind affects the mic and how slappy these shoes are. So yeah, Tuesday was not just the tempo session, but it was strength training. Tuesdays and Thursdays are those days. So while I'm base building and running, I'm building in strength training, trying to really focus on that, lift heavy, and it's going pretty well so far. So the main lifts are back squats, bent leg calf raises, and one leg Romanian deadlifts. Try to stay in the 3 to 6 rep range, which is tough, especially when during the summer, now that it's getting hot, I'm lifting after running. So I run in the morning and lift in the early afternoon. So that's different than when it was in the winter, when I would lift first thing and try to run later when it wasn't freezing. So that's a bit of a trade-off. I'm never going to be as fresh for lifting, but I'm still progressing. So I've got something to give. But yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's what I'm doing. And then I just do a little bit of upper body, some weighted chest dips, and some heavy lat pull downs. Wednesday was 14 miles, medium long run. Most of those were with a friend, which makes it so much easier. And it's technically supposed to be at a steady pace, but I do most of it easy just because I'm really trying to stay easy in base and not go crazy. So I'm gonna get up this little hill and I'll update you on what happened on Thursday. Thursday was just another 10 easy, followed by another gym session, and then I also played drums for a local student event at my church. So that was a pretty strenuous day. So needless to say, this recovery run was very strategically placed, because I needed it. And at 6 miles in, legs are feeling good, which they should, at a recovery pace, and hopefully I'm fresh for tomorrow, where we got 20. I've been doing 20 the past couple weeks, and it's felt pretty good. Especially last week, I was able to, not plan, but in the last 3 miles, really progress to race pace, maybe even a little bit faster. So to know that I have that in my legs at 17 miles in, and again, a pretty hilly route, is encouraging. So, yeah, 2 more miles, we'll get this done, and feel better for it. And there we go, 8 miles. I was about a half a mile from home when it stopped. So I could have kept going, but I'm gonna stick to it because the legs felt really good, and I want to keep them that way. That's how they should feel after a recovery run. So didn't have my headphones with me, so I thought time was gonna drag, but it didn't. So it felt really good, and the legs should feel really good because I don't hit not most of my mileage, but a lot of it until the Saturday long run. So I'm at 52 miles right now, and yeah, it feels really good. I had a deload week last week where I did 58, so that could be why I'm not carrying 70 miles into this week. But I'm going for 72, so I'm trying to incrementally build up. Not necessarily 10%, but wisely. And that's really the only thing in this base phase that has me at the potential of picking up some kind of injury, or niggle, as the UK folks say. I like that better. Yeah, so I started back after Rehoboth at, I think I was in the 20s, and then I went into the 30s, and into the 40s, and into the 50s. So I kind of added 10 miles a week in those first 4 weeks back, which, from what I've read and heard, that if you peak at, or whatever you peaked at leading up to the marathon, you can get back to that pretty quickly without having to start from scratch. So if I was peaking it in the 50s, getting back to that pretty quickly isn't the biggest deal. But then once I got to that, I wanted to make sure that I was incrementally bumping so that my body could handle it. Because yeah, I've never run this many miles before in my life, so this is completely uncharted territory, and I want to peak between 80 and 90 miles in this block. I've got a little ways to go, but that's without a ton of quality. Again, Tuesdays I'll do some tempo, Mondays I'll do some strides, and then on my long run Saturday, if I feel good at the end, I'll throw in a little progression in the last couple miles, but I'm not doing anything crazy. So I want to get my legs to at least 4, 5, 6 weeks at mileage in the 70s going into the build, because I don't want that to be foreign. Like I want that to feel normal, so that when I incrementally go up and get into the 80s, it doesn't feel like this big reach, which I'm feeling confident. So I did 70 2 weeks ago, 58, and then 72 this week. So I'll only be feeling more comfortable in that 70 mile range from here on out, because I still have 6 weeks, I think, until I start the build. So we're in a good spot, but that was a great run. So time to take Remy out, see if Calvin's awake. So it's 4:20 Saturday morning. Still really dark, but long run, 20 miles. I'm gonna do a warm up and get into it. The weather's perfect, light breeze, and it's about 63, and it's gonna be between 63 and 60 the whole run, so couldn't ask for better. So we'll get into the run and I'll update you when it's a little bit lighter out. But yeah, we're feeling good. So as you can see, it's much brighter out, and we're about 50 minutes in. I had a 12-ounce zero sugar Monster and a blueberry fig bar for breakfast. So that's about 45 grams of carbs. So that hopefully got me through this first 50 minutes, and then this gel will help top off. The run's still at an easy pace. I might be breathing a little bit harder now, but that's just because I came up a hill. Go figure. So I'm not super intense, so the carbohydrate need is not as high, but I need to practice fueling, so not great, but we're gonna get some water. So I have the this is the honey stinger gels, the honey flavor, and they're okay. They're what I use for Delaware. Hold on. But they're still not great. I do like the precision fuels. I think those are gonna be what I'm gonna use for Philly, but I still have a bunch of honey stingers, so I gotta use them up. I have both the caffeine strawberry kiwi and the honey one, so I'm using those up for training, and it's okay. Still one of my least favorite parts of the run, but the gut's getting more content with them, which is good. So, all right, 5.5 miles in, and the legs are warming up. Usually it takes them a good 3 miles, especially in these long runs, to get there, because they're just a little lazy. And then usually around 10, 11, 12, I'll get another wind. So all the ups and downs of the long run. All right, I'll probably check back in around 10 and do a little vibe check. So it never fails. Around 10 miles, which is where I'm at now, the legs just wake up and they hit a pace that's more steady and that I feel like I can hold for a while. Heart rate's still in the low 140s, so that's good, but it's just amazing. This is why I love the long run so much. Yes, it's long, several hours, well, just under 3 on feet, but the stages that your body goes through, your legs go through, your lungs go through, it's just, there's nothing like it. So we're gonna hold on this pace. It's about 8:15, 8:15, and we're just gonna cruise. So I love it. This is why I do it. Cruising. All right, we're officially in tired, heavy legs territory. Started to feel it around 14. and we're at 15. So we got 5 more miles on heavy legs. And heart rate has been in zone 3 since about 13 and a half. So 10K of the long run is usually where I like to push, if at all, so I can get good reps on heavy legs. So this is gonna be tough. I got one more gel to take. I'll take that when I hit water soon, but it's hard. But that's the beauty of the long run. You get everything in it. Easy, hard, and ridiculously hard. But we're not there yet, so we'll keep plugging along. 5K to go. Dig. We gotta bring it home and finish strong. Don't fall off. Let's do it. That was hard. That last 5K. Brutal. Half of 17 was downhill, which helped, but most of 18 was definitely uphill. So that was so hard. And I intentionally changed the route at the end to keep me further away from home, because as much as you want to finish and as much as you're so close to finishing, when it's that hard, you're just like, I don't know, your brain starts looking for ways out. The closer you get to home, or at least for me, I feel like my motivation and my energy just plummet. And but that made it harder because it brought more elevation. So I was even the last like quarter of a mile, I was intentionally avoiding hills because I was just so done and tired and ready to be over running. So, but we made it, and the vain part in me went to 20.2 because I knew I was at least 0.2 short of 72, and I wanted to make sure I got it. So it was bizarre. It was almost as if my body knew that I hadn't done 72 miles in a week before, and that those last 2 miles were uncharted territory. So it was like clockwork. It got so much harder. So yeah, I don't know if my brain really knows that I hadn't run that far, but it's running that, and especially the long run, that really shows you what your brain is capable of doing to you. The hills and the valleys and the ways it tries to talk you out of doing things under the guise of self-preservation, I guess. But it's bizarre. Yeah, there's nothing like it. At least I've never experienced anything like it. But we got it done. It's 7:30 right now. So Calvin's up. We'll get the day started. I like getting it done before most of the family's even up.